Jeremy?
David, you join me inside our interior of number 10 Downing Street, and up the stairs here you can see the portraits of Prime Ministers on the walls, just to give us a bit of context on hung parliaments. Exit poll tonight suggesting there might well be one. Have there been many? The answer is more than you might think. So 1910, back 100 years, Herbert Asquith here came first in 2 elections but did not get an overall majority, had to govern with the support of smaller parties. Hung parliament, minority government with support. Same again with Stanley Baldwin, 1923, and he was 50 seats short, only lasted 6 weeks. You can see how long each government lasted underneath the picture. He did then win a subsequent election with an overall majority. Maybe a lesson for David Cameron there. 1929, Ramsay MacDonald, rather more successful, kept on for over 2 years with a minority government. And then we have this election classic, February 1974, so tight. Ted Heath trying to remain PM with fewer seats than Labour, and lasted 3 days. And you're hearing maybe echoes of that story in some of the conversations we've already had in the studio tonight. After he stepped down, in comes Harold Wilson. He's Prime Minister, 17 seats short for 5 months. And then, of course, you have the October election. He's re-elected, but he hands over to James Callaghan. And James Callaghan loses his majority. And here, for the first time on the staircase, you actually have a formal coalition, the Lib Lab Pact. Jim Callaghan, 1977, again, didn't last very long. He has to struggle on afterwards for another 8 months after that pact falls apart. And just one more example for you, which is often glossed over. John Major in 1996 started with a very small majority. It came down because of death and defection, and he had a fairly torrid 5 months in a minority with the support of the Ulster Unionists. So if you go down this staircase, you actually only see one example here of a formal coalition. And the lesson seems to be they don't tend to end in formal coalitions, hung parliaments. They often end with the largest party governing with occasional support, policy by policy. And secondly, it's happened perhaps more often in recent history than we might imagine. David?
Jeremy, thanks very much.